This man confessed to mistakenly getting his mother-in-law pregnant when she came to babysit after the delivery of his newborn baby by his wife who died during childbirth. The heartbreaking story has forced the father-in-law into regret and what to do with his wife, who relocated from their family home for 7 months to babysit for her supposed son-in-law. One shocking thing is that for the 7 months she had been babysitting for her son-in-law, she did not meet her husband. The truth would later come out when the son-in-law narrated all that happened. After the death and burial of my wife, my mother-in-law came to stay with me to help look after the baby because my mother is no longer alive. She died many years ago. I work with one of the federal government agencies. My younger sister, who is equally staying with me, is in SS2 and could not combine her studies with taking care of the newborn baby. So my father-in-law asked his wife to come because his first wife, who happens to be my real mother-in-law, is late. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, so when she came to take care of the baby with the assistance of my younger sister, I left one of the rooms for them to use while I stay in the other room, but I come home regularly to check on them to ensure that she does not lack anything, especially when my younger sister is out in school. In the first 1 month of her stay with me, nothing happened, but during the second month, which was July 2019, something abominable happened which left me with so much guilty feelings. My sister went to school as usual. I did not go to work that day, leaving me and my mother-in-law alone in the house. It rained the previous night all through and the weather was very cold. I was checking on them in their room to see how my newborn baby was doing. But when I opened the door, I was shocked to see my mother-in-law almost naked. I could clearly see the outline of her firm breast and her private parts. I tried to turn back, but she said I should come in. When I hesitated, she walked up to me and grabbed me, asking me why I was behaving like a small boy. She asked whether she was not looking attractive to me. I told her I could not do what she had in mind with her, as I saw her as my mother as well as mother-in-law. But she disabused my mind and insisted I must sleep with her. As a human being, I fell for the temptation and slept with her that day, and somehow it continued at any given opportunity. It became a daily routine as I was not going to work regularly. As soon as my sister leaves for school and the boy is able to sleep, we will stay indoors and have sex all day, and it later resulted in a pregnancy, but she refused to abort it. She said she had been longing for a child of her own. I cannot but blame myself for falling into such temptations, but then the deed has been done. I feel very bad because there is no way my father-in-law would thump his chest and claim to be the owner of the pregnancy because she has spent some months in my house and she missed her period while staying here, not in her husband's house. I am confused at the moment. I don't know what to do, but the days ahead will surely bring a solution to the embarrassing situation. This was the shocking but sad story from the son-in-law. It was indeed a very sad one for the father-in-law as he had his own part of the story to tell. According to his father-in-law, it was about 7 months that I have not seen my wife. We only talk on phone, he said. I know the importance of her coming to stay with my son-in-law for some period of time, which is to take care of the newborn baby whose mother is late. I thought it was my own responsibility to help my son-in-law and the newborn baby of my late daughter, so I allowed my own wife to come and help them. 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine ran into my wife and called me to tell me that he saw my wife with a bulging stomach. I was speechless with shock and asked, how come? I didn't want to believe it or confront her on phone. She has been here since June last year, and I decided to visit them to also see how the little boy is doing. I was coming with so much joy, not knowing that I was coming to meet disaster waiting for me. When I got to the house of my son-in-law, I met the shock of my life as I saw my own wife with the protruding stomach. I stood transfixed to a spot as I looked at her, trying to recall if there was any time she had told me she was pregnant, but I couldn't remember. I quickly asked my wife what happened, and she broke down and confessed that my son-in-law seduced her, and she fell and it became frequent, and the result was the pregnancy. She started begging me for forgiveness. She also went ahead to say that she allowed him to have his way as a way of checking her fertility status, and it turned out to be this way, and that she refused to abort it because she has spent 10 solid years with me without a child. She said it is almost getting late and she is no longer getting younger. She pleaded with me not to cause her any embarrassment or disgrace by exposing her to ridicule and shame. She actually begged me to handle the matter in a mature way, but I am yet to get out of the shock. Seeing my own wife impregnated by my son-in-law, my anger knows no bound. If it were during my days as a military man, I would have used my gun to kill the two of them at the spot. But if I do that now, I'll be taking laws into my hands. I will just have to go back to my hometown. I have asked my wife not to come back to my house. As for my son-in-law, I leave him to his conscience." These were the very words of the sad father-in-law who eventually lost his wife to his son-in-law. The reality is that these things keep happening daily, but they don't get exposed due to the fact that a lot of people want to cover up. But guys, if you were in the position of the father-in-law, what would you have done? If you were also in the position of the mother-in-law who had not gotten pregnant or had a baby for the past 10 years of her marriage, would you have still gone ahead to abort the pregnancy? As for the son-in-law, do you think what he did was right? Kindly drop your honest comments in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Thank you.